Okay, welcome to more Genshin Impact. I tried to stream Genshin earlier in the day, but for some reason OBS was not cooperating. I don't know. I have since updated OBS, but I didn't feel like streaming again, so we are recording instead. We finished the Roses and Muskets event, so that is done now. But I'm thinking I still have some other stuff I want to do. We do still have some character quests. We have Dehya and Farina. I'm thinking we do Dehya today because I want to do Farina on stream. But I want to still have some content to post. So we are going to do Dehya. So let's get started. It's been a good minute since we've been to Sumeru. The last time was to finish out the Yoimiya story quest. But let's go back. Why are you not navigating me? What is your problem? Expand. Oh, okay. Wild. So let's go see how Dehya has been. I actually have not gotten a Dehya yet. I know a lot of people say that they don't like her play style because she's kind of weak, but I like to give every character a shot. Eventually, every character will serve a purpose. I am looking for clues among the goods. I don't know if I'm like already started this or what. While at the Grand Bazaar, you and Paimon encountered Dehya and Dunyarzad. Through conversation, you learned that Dehya's father had committed a great many wrongs, spurring Dehya to see an end to this familial disgrace. To prevent Dunyarzad from worrying too much, you and Paimon decide to accompany Dehya on her task. I guess we had already started this, my bad. So we're starting from this point. I don't know how much of this we have done. There are some weapons in the boxes, as well as a bunch of medicine and bandages. It seems like Dekan Al-Ahmar is really up to no good. Sure! There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy.
You
Hey,
found a
Dehya.
piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is
She's
a
so
merchant
pretty.
caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
Am I supposed to know these people?
All familiar names.
Are
Dakana
they?
Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the Mora amounts just happened to cancel each other out?
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all?
I don't know.
Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'm glad Paimon said, because I didn't know the significance there.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan Akhmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebat or Port Ormos.
If Shazamon was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting.
So
The
pretty.
brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
Didn't he also have to get enough money to pay you? I can't see him being, like, broke as a joke and needing to resort to this. I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakana Lakmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion.
I wish
That's
I
not
knew
how
what we
I
were
deal with
talking about.
people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
I got caravan accounts. I did not remember that I had started this quest. When did I do that? Well, hopefully we're not
Solidify!
too
Emerge,
far
right
into
here.
the quest.
Emerge.
That would be unfortunate. Okay. Where am I going? This way. Okay. Sometimes Sumeru City is really confusing to get from one point to the next. Maybe that's just me, but this place really confuses me sometimes.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any
So
other
you
day,
noticed.
Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!"
She sure would.
So tell me, what happened?
Oops.
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Dehya manages to explain the results of the investigation
My
to Dunyarzad.
father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah,
Potentially.
it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
Because of her
about
family
that.
connections.
Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards.
He buttered
He
you up.
offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No.
But
That's
why?
too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Tia.
It's all right, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we kinda need
guess
the
I
full
should always
picture.
remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
The bench? I hope it's a bench. From, I don't remember which Archon quest, or if that was a story quest, or what. It's been so long. I think I still have random world quests I need to find and do in Sumeru. Maybe... Why am I climbing that? Maybe we'll try and track those down and do some of those. Not necessarily today, but... I would like to have them done. I like the full picture.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes. My daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
Dehya explains the issue to
So, that's what you found.
Okay.
Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like
I
an
don't think you can keep
explanation.
anything from us at all
Well,
starting now. Not much longer.
It's a
now.
long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him.
So you
I came
think?
here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dukan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again.